to.
Welcome back to Liquid Lunch on thatchannel.com. My name is Hildegard Meiner. Today is April Fool's Day. However, what we are talking about has nothing to do with foolishness now, Matthew, right?
No, not at all. This is serious
stuff. Have you ever
stuff.
gone and seen a channeler, by the way?
Well, no, I haven't actually. Unless I saw one and I didn't realize it was happening.
Oh, okay. Yeah, many people are on a spiritual path. And our next guest, Danny-Dalton, is going to share a little bit of insights about his journey and hopefully also explain to us, what is this thing, spirituality? Is this just some new age thing, and how is it actually helpful? Now, Danny-Dalton, welcome to the show here, and thank you so much for coming all the way from Peterborough to be with us. You have been on an incredible journey. You have a background in Reiki as well.
Yes.
You're a spiritual healer. You're a light worker. And you recently discovered your gift of channeling.
Yes.
Where would you like to begin? I think
just a short synopsis, because my whole purpose is to share what I've learned. What I've gone through has been so life-changing. I know that I need to share it with others, because many others are going through the same thing, and they don't know. They have all these questions. I'll tell you quickly about a woman I met recently. She's about 50. I started speaking about these things, and she said, I've had this all my life. I heard messages from, I guess you call them spirit guides, and I thought I was crazy. I never shared it with anyone. No one. She said, you're the first person I've ever been comfortable enough to speak with. So this is my journey, is to help people open up, understand what's really going on. I'm not an expert. I don't think anyone's an expert in this field, but I can share with my experiences. So after I was awakened about 10 years ago, when the lights came on and I was connected to spirit with angels and guides, messages came. Shortly after, my abilities came open, which is the psychic abilities, a mediumship, and then about, 5-6 years ago, channeling came through.
What do you mean by channeling, can I ask?
Channeling is you're really just a conduit for the spirits. It could be an angel, it could be God himself. I've channeled 5 entities so far, so an angel, Ariel, Jesus, my higher self, which is my soul, a goddess. So I never know who's going to come through. But to do it properly,
is it ever scary?
Not at all. It's the reverse.
Now, if I may just throw in there, just let our audience know a little bit about what is spirituality, because some people say, oh, this is really hocus pocus, what is this guy smoking, because these are not, some people are very familiar with these things, a lot of people may not be.
I think spiritualists don't care what the other people think of them, because their spirit is so solid.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
not what other people think, but I would like to get the definition, your definition of spirituality.
Spirituality really is just a connection to spirit. A total connection. Because when we're born, we're so shut off. We really are. And society just closes down the doors. Young children have been known to see angels, young babies, looking up and actually see them because they're still connected. As we get older, we get shut down. So it's opening up again, which for me it was an opening up. It was miraculous.
It's beautiful that you're helping other people open up. Like that 50-year-old woman, for 50 years she didn't tell anybody, because a lot of people, they want to appease the mass mentality. And a spiritualist is always somebody who stands outside of that mass mentality and is always a quest of self-discovery.
Very much.
Exactly.
They don't get told how to think by other people. So it can be a frightening thing to have.
It was for her. She's still not, how would I say it? She's still learning and growing. I give her little bits and pieces, and she tries to absorb it. She can only handle so much at a time. It could take her 2-3 years, but sometimes when you're awakened, it's instant. For me, it was instant.
Well, you mentioned that word awakening. So, and you said before, the children are so open.
Yes.
So then something happens, we get conditioned, we get shut down. In your awakening, what did that look like? Because a lot of people that I've experienced, myself included, this awakening thing can be very confusing.
Can it?
It wasn't a clear-cut thing for me.
Okay, for me, I went to a medium, a reading. It was a numerologist, but I didn't know she was also a medium. So in numerology, it takes about an hour for her to sit down with your name and your birth date and what they all mean. It's quite a process. And as she's doing the numerology, she would get a psychic message and she would give it to me. And I've never been to a medium before. And right in the middle of the numerology, she just looked at me and says, "Today is your first day. You are now awakened. Wow. You will never be the same after today." And she was right.
And then your belief
just went whoosh.
So your belief caused that to be so.
I don't think it was a conscious thing, because in my conscious mind I heard her words and said, "What is she talking about?"
I was always under the opinion that, or the impression rather, that enlightenment is all about believing in yourself. And once you believe in yourself, you realize enlightenment was always there. You always had the opportunity to believe in yourself. So she encouraged you, as you're doing now to others.
Okay, because we work on many levels. I don't think on my conscious level I was there yet, but on the subconscious was ready. That's why it drove me to go to her. I don't know what drew me to go and see this lady. I knew I had to see her.
So do you think there's divine timing, like everybody has their own little time?
It is timing. I was 52. I wish it had been much earlier. So the lights came on and I was instantly connected to angels.
What happens when you're ready for it? Otherwise your ego gets involved and it can go chaotic.
Fear.
Yeah.
A lot of fear. And our belief system. Our belief system holds us back more than anything. I truly believe.
So what was your opening then to channeling?
Okay, I went to a workshop. It was a very interesting workshop where we did many things, and I was a light worker. He did amazing things that day. And he had a talking stick that the natives use. He says, "Okay, we're going to do something completely different. 3 of you today are going to channel for the first time." And as soon as he says, "I'm not going to tell you who, I'm just going to walk up to you and give you the stick." I knew instantly when he said that, one of them was going to be me. I knew it. So he went to a lady, she got up in the middle, and he explains that you just relax and breathe, and you'll actually feel a sense and an energy surround you, and then it'll just flow. And the whole idea about channeling is to get out of the way. Just let your conscious mind get out and let it flow through, and then you just speak.
So the left brain is parked somewhere?
And some people, when they channel, their voice actually changes. So the first lady went.
I think they call that glossolalia. Sometimes people speak in tongues too, hey?
Yes.
Yeah.
Glossolalia?
Yeah.
And then the second lady was done, and then he turned and he walked right to me, like I knew he would. Gave me the stick, and I got up there, and I was very relaxed, and I breathed, and I felt this surge of energy surround me, a really soft, warm energy. And then... whew.
So does it take long for you to get in trance, or can you do some channeling for us?
Yes, I can.
So you can do it at will? It doesn't just happen?
I can now.
Oh, cool. I didn't know. Cool.
Okay, I did it there. Recently, the last few times, I did it with a friend, Deborah Christie. She does past life regressions. And so to get into past life regression, she's also a hypnotist. She gets you in that trance-like state. So the whole idea in the past life regression was to go back to see some of my past lives.
So who were you last time?
What was I last time?
Yeah.
I don't know my last life, but I know many of my lives, and some of them were thousands of years ago.
I got shown my last life. I didn't believe it for a long time, but now I think I believe it.
They do come to you. I've seen them. So
I committed seppuku.
Oh, many of us have been killed and slaughtered, but how it really came more forward with Deborah was she put me in a hypnotic trance, and the whole idea was to go back and see some of my past lives. That didn't happen. I instantly started channeling, and the whole idea of past life was out the window, and I channeled information, and Deborah went with it and started asking me questions, and it was really interesting.
Also, sometimes you don't get what you want, but you get something even better.
Complete surprise.
Yeah.
So
Great
can you surprise us?
That's the mystery
also-
of God.
Well,
Full of surprises.
it won't be me surprising you. It'll be
Whatever. The universe,
Will be surprising.
whatever spirit will come through. And will you just be talking? Do we need to ask questions? Maybe
Yes,
Matthew can ask you questions. You want to?
Yes, so I'm open for questions. The Spirit will be. When I did it only a week and a half ago, the Spirit, it was my higher self that came through. It spoke for, I don't know, 2-3 minutes. And then I was open for questions. So I'll get the Spirit to say, I'm now ready for questions.
Okay.
So have questions that are more based on the planet or what's going on in the world.
Yeah, we would like some general information.
Yeah, not personal stuff.
Maybe about spirituality or what's going on in the world.
Perfect.
What do we need to be afraid of, or what is there to look forward to?
Yes.
Or in fear versus love in general, that type of thing. I don't know if you can put a request in before you are in the
They take over.
receptive mode.
I step out of the way.
Maybe you should ask the question. You got a bunch of them.
No.
Well, I'd
we'll
like
just play by
a
ear.
question from both of you.
Yeah, we'll
From both
see.
of you.
Okay. We have
So-
we are now 11 minutes or so into the show, so we'll give you about 10 minutes to channel and then we chat some more, okay?
I am here with you now. I come through this person known as Danny today. I come to you as infinite knowledge, infinite wisdom of the universe knowledge that is useful here for you at this time. This time is a great time of change for you on this planet. So much is happening for you as humans, the human being. You are shifting, you are growing, you are expanding greatly. This is the time of great change for you in a physical way, in an emotional way, in a spiritual way on this planet. Your lives will never be the same. In this great journey, this great shift that many call the ascension, there will be bumps on the road, there will be pain. There'll be confusion and there can be great fear. Let it go. Do not get entrenched in this fear or any anger. Accept that change is coming in many, many ways on your planet. Accept this change. And one of the greatest things you can do in this time is to heal yourself and to open your hearts. For that is where the love is, and that is where the change comes from. The heart needs to be opened. For most of you on this planet is shut down, it is closed. And you're barely surviving. It is a time for you to open this heart energy, this love, to expand and to be all that you can be. For you can be so much more than you are now. So much more. If you could only see your future, how great it is. There'll be a time coming soon where all this pain and suffering will be gone. And you will be beautiful divine beings as you were when you came here to experience this planet in an entirely different way. Without fear, without lack, without hatred, and without wars. A time of great change, much to look forward to. So accept all the changes and try not to judge them. For these changes are part of the process, a process of change. For remember, out of the chaos comes change. So many of you on this planet now are already there, are already awake, are already accepting of the truths, of these energies that are coming through. And it is these people who are helping the rest of you to get to this point. Many of the people here are called light workers, and they carry an energy. They carry a light, the light of change, the light of peace, the light of love. And as these light workers will assist all the rest of you who have questions, who have fears, who have doubts, for it is their job at this lifetime to assist the rest of you to get to that point where you can open up your hearts and move forward to the new life and new energy that you're going to have on this planet. For great change is on its way. It's here. You're in the midst of it. And many of you are going to rejoice, for it is a great time in your human history. I am open for questions.
What animal is the Sphinx?
It is a cat-like creature, and it's the feminine energy, is the cat, of the feline energies.
What is the essence of paradox?
Is to look at things in many ways. Is to stand above a situation and see the many facets of the situation, and to come to a conclusion of what is the best for you.
Are shadows beautiful?
All things have their purpose. Some may call them beautiful, some may call them others. It depends on your frame of mind, whether you want to judge it or not judge it. It is what it is.
I have a question regarding human history. You mentioned that out of chaos comes something beautiful, like even in chaos is order. What is the significance of what humanity experiences now versus before? Because everything's changing continuously. But what's so unique about the times right now and the challenges humanity is facing?
It's all the time in the man's humanity. Many of the energies that are coming to this planet are energies of change, the shift. They are planetary changes. When certain constellations and galaxies in the Milky Way align, this is the end of the 26,000 cycle. We are now at that time. As everyone remembers, December 21st, 2012 was the end of that shift and the start of the new cycle. And that cycle is the new energies that are coming in, the shifts, the changes. Many people are feeling these in a physical way, in an emotional way on your planet. Many feel, may we use the word strange, lightheaded, different, odd, because of the energies are changing the physical form and the mental form. And is this time that was predicted? Some of the native Aboriginal groups predicted these times, as the Mayans, as the Hopi, this great time that we've been all waiting for, this great time of change at this point in your human history.
So a lot of people, you mentioned ailments and ailments people experience right now. Many people can't get diagnosed by the doctor, the body is fine, yet people can't function, they can't even get out of bed. Is that related to what's going on in the physical body, and what causes it really? Is there any explanation you can give?
It's more than just the physical, it's also the mental and the emotional, because they all are in trinity, they all work together. They are not separate as you may think they are, as your medical community portrays them to be. Your mental and emotional and your physical are all very closely related. So when these shifts, the shifts affect all of them, all these bodies. Many have called it the ascension symptoms. So as we elevate, our vibration is much higher today than it was 10 years ago. Our vibration is bringing us to a point where we can accept more energies and more light. So when these changes come, it affects us in many ways. Like you say, these ailments, a lot of anxiety, a lot of confusion, could be some fear, and many feel in the head, lightheaded and even dizzy, and just feeling off at this time.
I was wondering if there was a paradigm shift going on right now, and we were to make a new calendar to market, what number or numbers should the new calendar be based upon?
Depends on your perspective of numbers. You may call this year zero. Many might call it 2012 as the start of year zero. And many might want to call 2016 year 4 of the new cycle of the Aquarian age. You can call it what you will.
I just wanted to hear just like 1 or 2 numbers just shouted out.
3.
Oh, thank you.
And I really appreciate
3
you
comes to mind.
taking our questions. I unfortunately am really restricted in time, and if I may be allowed one more question, how would you define the word ascension? Because we hear it all the time. Humanity needs to ascend. Humanity needs to be enlightened. What is it that you could explain to us? What's the significance of that?
It's the rising up. It's all about vibration. Everything in the universe has a vibration. And as you vibrate higher, you attract more knowledge, more skill, more wisdom. So we are raising vibrationally, and that's what you can call your ascension. And as you raise vibrationally, you rise above the what we call the 3D lifestyle that we lived here on the earth, of density, of fear, of pain, of working so hard and the suffering. You rise above that when you raise your vibration. And you also raise your vibration, you also get closer to what you may call your God or Creator. And you become more of the essence that you are, your soul, so to speak. As you raise your vibration, you become more soul-oriented. And you rise above all this. For when you get to the very high vibrations that we're aiming for now, we are to be in 5th dimension and above. You will not have the physical ailments that you have today. You will not have the mental anguish that you have today. Your lives will be so transformed, all because of your vibration. That is what the ascension is all about.
Great. Thank you so very much for taking our questions. And could you please let Danny come back in, please? Thank you.
I just wish to say where this knowledge and skill and information is coming through. This information is coming through Danny's higher self, which you may call his soul. But to realize we are all connected, Danny's soul is also connected to all other souls. So when this information is coming through, it's coming through a collective of souls down through Danny's higher self, just so you understand where this message is coming from.
Thank you.
And I thank you for this chance to share.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much. This was very interesting.
Yeah.
Where do you go inside your head? Like, I wish I could look inside and see what's
It's not in the head. He said it's threefold.
heart?
It's a trinity, he said. Remember, it's not
I
just
have
the
this
head.
bubble of beautiful, warm energy. I couldn't be more relaxed than I am now.
How long can you channel for? Like, is there a time limit? Can you talk for hours?
We could keep going.
Yeah?
It would be nice to try for an hour.
Well, if the soul's eternal, he could probably channel eternally.
Until I lose my voice and get thirsty and hungry. But
Well, yeah, that is really nice.
it's a wonderful energy.
Like, I heard
wonderful
it said
energy.
that we all best channel. Everybody does all the time. If we didn't, we couldn't even function.
We are spiritual beings having a human experience. So we do have those abilities. And since I started channeling, I've noticed I can have a conversation with someone, just meeting you, and all of a sudden, for a minute or two, I'll spew out something you needed to hear. And at the end of that sentence, I'll think, well, that wasn't me talking. Where was I? My mind stepped out, and this voice came through me while I was wide awake. And I've done this several times.
Yeah. Well, I was just reading.
Several times.
I asked a question about a sphinx, and I was just reading that the sphinx was that cat, like you said. But I wasn't sure if it was the cat, but it says that the cat can sense secrets people hold and draw them out of people.
Okay.
That's why the sphinx was a riddle.
Okay.
And it can, so when you walk around sensing people's secrets, suddenly they just come out without you meaning to. And you draw things out
it's
of
like
people.
a gateway
It's a
that
healing.
opens.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. Underneath the Sphinx, apparently, there are said to be secrets as well.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
is maybe a topic for another show altogether. We are almost out of time here, Danny, and I wonder, how can people get in touch with you? How do you work with people? Do you see them? Do they come to your office?
It's just something I'm starting recently. I just tend to meet people one-on-one, and amazing coincidences. As we know, there really isn't coincidences. They can contact me at my email. It's ddtoolman@yahoo.com. If they want to phone me at 705-340-9606.
705. What area code is it?
That's I'm in the Peterborough area. I would like to make a comment, a suggestion.
Let me just run this again here. 705-340-9606.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. I would like to speak with people anytime that want, because there's so many people who are starting this path and have 101 questions. And if I can share with my experiences, because they learn, I'd like to meet at someone's home. If someone wants to open up their home and they're in the Toronto area or north of Toronto or even Oshawa, maybe we can meet, and where a group of people can meet and have common ground, and we can share and learn from each other.
One thing I was
That's
wondering.
what I'd like to do.
I was wondering, a lot of people say that this is new, like ascension and stuff is new, but is it not only new to Western civilization? Like, haven't there been teachers and students in a lot of Eastern civilizations for thousands and thousands of years? I think it's the Western, the overly intellectualized Western world that's starting to awaken up to this stuff.
We all are,
specifically.
planet-wide.
Well, I
But it's
agree
old,
with
it's
you.
ancient, it's
I
ancient
think
stuff.
as long as the planet is around and people are on it, people have gone through this process. But maybe because we were so not in tune in the West, it seems to be the new here.
But you're right about the vibrations, because sound always goes exponentially outwards. So if it starts small, it just keeps going
all
faster
vibrational.
and faster.
Now, like I said, or my higher self said, December 21, 2012 was a very important day in the shift. The actual process of the ascension started in August of 1987. That's when the ball really got going, where the man's consciousness was ready for this, and it happened.
The cosmic switches were going to be thrown, and unfortunately
Exactly.
the switches will be thrown here shortly as well. We need to come to an end. So once again, thank you, Danny Dalton. You are
wonderful.
here as our resident channeler this morning. Thank you so very much for being
You're
here.
welcome.
And you can reach Danny at ddtoolman, so Danny, ddtoolman at yahoo.com, or 705-340-9606. Thanks so much for
You're
being
welcome.
here, and hope to see you soon. Please stay with us, and we'll be back in a little while.
Thank you.
And we will learn about what's happening north of Barrie, where there's a lot of spiritual people. And I'm glad to discuss more spirituality after
Thank
this little break. So please stay with us here on thatchannel.com.